The first light of dawn filters through the dense, humid canopy of a prehistoric jungle, casting long, hazy shafts of light onto the forest floor. A small family group of early hominins, their bodies lean and covered in wiry hair, emerge from the relative safety of a rocky overhang. Their movements are deliberate and cautious, their dark eyes constantly scanning the lush yet perilous environment. The air is thick with the sounds of unseen insects and distant animal calls. An adult male, the leader, clutches a heavy, fist-sized rock, his knuckles white. He pauses, sniffing the air, before leading the group forward. They move silently through giant ferns and past moss-covered trees, their bare feet making soft imprints in the damp earth. For what feels like an eternity, their journey is a slow, repetitive rhythm of searching. A young female stops to dig at the base of a tree with a pointed stick, eventually pulling up a small, starchy root, which she cleans and places in a makeshift carrier made of animal hide. Another, younger male, catches a large beetle, inspecting it before eating it. These small successes are mere trifles against the deep, gnawing hunger etched on their faces. The group moves from the dense jungle to the edge of a wide, grassy savanna, the tall grass waving in the wind. The sun is higher now, beating down on them. They pause for a long time, observing. In the distance, a flock of massive, flightless birds pecks at the ground. The lead male raises a hand, signaling for a halt. His eyes are fixed on a point far across the plain. A lone, muscular, saber-toothed cat, its massive canine teeth glinting in the sun, is crouched over the fresh carcass of a large antelope. The predator rips and tears at the flesh, its focus entirely on its meal. A silent, electric understanding passes through the hominin group. This is their chance. They communicate with subtle gestures and urgent looks, a plan forming without a single word. They begin to gather stones, each selecting rocks that are heavy enough to make an impact, but light enough to throw. They fan out, creating a wide, intimidating line as they begin their slow, deliberate advance across the open grassland. The saber-toothed cat, its belly now full, finally senses their presence. It lifts its bloody head, a low growl rumbling in its chest. The hominins do not stop. They raise their arms, shouting guttural cries, and begin to hurl their stones. The rocks thud into the ground around the cat, not aimed to kill, but to harass, to annoy, to overwhelm. The cat, startled and outnumbered by the noisy, advancing apes, lets out an aggressive roar, but begins to back away. The barrage of stones continues, relentless and coordinated. Finally, with a flick of its tail, the predator relents, dragging a portion of the kill with it as it retreats into the tall grass, vanishing from sight. The hominins fall silent, their chests heaving, a mix of terror and triumph in their eyes. After a long, tense moment of watching for the cat's return, they rush forward to the carcass. The lead male takes out a sharp-edged flake of flint from his hide pouch. He and the others begin the arduous task of butchering. Close-up shots show their strong hands working with the primitive tools, slicing through thick hide, cutting away chunks of precious meat. The work is messy, frantic, as they know other scavengers will soon be drawn by the scent. They load as much meat as they can carry onto their backs and begin the long, heavy trek back to the safety of the jungle. The mood is tense, every snap of a twig in the undergrowth causing them to freeze. As dusk begins to settle, they finally reach their camp. A small, carefully tended fire is glowing in the rock shelter. They skewer the fresh meat on thick sticks and hold it over the flames. The firelight flickers across their faces, illuminating expressions of profound relief. The sizzle and pop of the cooking meat is the only sound. For the next several minutes, the scene is just this. The family gathered close, the fire crackling, and the slow, satisfying process of eating. The gnawing hunger is finally replaced by the warmth of a full belly. As night fully descends, they sit together, their bodies close for warmth and security, the bones of their meal scattered around them. The video ends with a long, slow shot of the family silhouetted against the glowing embers, a small island of fragile life in a vast, ancient, and unforgiving world.